You have been told your entire life that art is a human miracle. You think the appreciation of beauty is what separates you from wild beasts. You believe that only humans have the intelligence to create masterpieces, but the cold truth is much more unsettling and strange. Look closely at the incredibly diverse natural world all around you. The truth is that animals experience and create profound art too. Your desire to paint, sculpt, and arrange beautiful things is not unique. It is an ancient, deeply embedded evolutionary trick of survival. You use art to bring a sense of order to a chaotic world. Animals do the exact same thing in the darkest corners of the wild. This is not a romantic theory or a wild anthropomorphic myth. It is a documented, deeply studied, and proven biological reality. Scientists call this fascinating field of study evolutionary zoo aesthetics. They have discovered something completely mind-blowing about animal behavior. Animals are not just mindless biological machines focused on basic survival. They actively prioritize symmetry, color, and stunning beauty in their daily lives. Let us dive into the deep, dark, and mysterious ocean near Japan. Consider the tiny, seemingly insignificant Japanese white-spotted pufferfish. This small fish lives on the dark, sandy bottom of the vast ocean. For a long time, human divers noticed perfectly symmetrical geometric circles in the sand. These beautiful crop circles of the sea were over 6 feet wide. We arrogantly assumed they were created by strange ocean currents or human machinery. But researchers finally captured the incredibly shocking truth on underwater cameras. A single tiny male pufferfish was working tirelessly for over a week. He was using his small fins to meticulously carve a perfect geometric mandala. He decorated the high ridges of his sand sculpture with beautifully crushed seashells. He did not do this to trap food or to hide from dangerous predators. He created this incredibly complex, mathematically perfect art piece to attract a mate. He spent immense physical energy just to create something fundamentally beautiful. If the female fish did not appreciate the specific symmetry of his art, she would leave. This proves that even simple fish have a deep aesthetic preference for perfect geometry. They actively judge the artistic merit and structural integrity of a sculpture. But marine animals are not the only ones who obsess over creating beautiful things. Let us move from the dark ocean floor to the lush, vibrant rainforests of Australia. Look at the incredibly eccentric and dramatic bird known as the satin bowerbird. Biologists have carefully studied the bizarre, artistic behavior of these amazing birds. The male bowerbird builds an incredibly elaborate, massive structure made of carefully woven twigs. This complex architectural structure is completely useless for raising a family or seeking shelter. It is an art gallery designed entirely for the pure display of visual beauty. The bird spends weeks meticulously arranging a massive collection of colorful objects. He collects bright blue flower petals, blue berries, blue bottle caps, and blue feathers. He arranges them perfectly by size and shade to create an optimal visual gradient. If you mess up his carefully curated art display, he will frantically fix it immediately. He acts exactly like an obsessive human artist preparing for an expensive gallery opening. The Bowerbird literally understands the complex principles of forced visual perspective. He places smaller objects in the back and larger objects in the front. This creates a stunning optical illusion that makes his entire art installation look bigger. He is intentionally manipulating the visual perception of his audience using artistic techniques. This amazing study proves that the appreciation of color and form is incredibly deep. It is not a modern human invention created by ancient cave painters in Europe. It is a primal, biological drive to seek out and organize pure aesthetic beauty. This brings us to the massive, highly emotional elephants of the dense Asian jungles. For decades, tourists have watched captive elephants hold paintbrushes in their long trunks. They paint seemingly beautiful, intricate landscapes on large white canvases for human entertainment. Many cynical scientists dismissed this completely, claiming the elephants were just highly trained. They argued the animals were simply memorizing mechanical muscle movements for food rewards. But independent biologists observed wild, completely untrained elephants in the thick forests of India. These wild elephants were observed picking up specific colored clay and bright berries. They used their complex trunks to smear these vivid colors onto large gray rocks. They were intentionally decorating their environment with bright colors for absolutely no practical reason. They did not eat the berries, and the clay provided no obvious survival benefit. They simply enjoyed the striking visual contrast of the bright red clay on the rock. When researchers changed the color of the available clay, the elephants experimented with it. They actively mixed different types of soil to create brand new visual textures. This proves that massive mammals possess a deep, inherent appreciation for visual abstraction. It is a profound way of trying to make sense of a terrifying universe. Now let us look at our closest genetic relatives in the dense African jungles. Consider the complex, highly intelligent societies of wild chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are highly rational, tool-using primates who focus on daily survival. But researchers at the Max Planck Institute discovered something completely bizarre. They observed chimpanzees engaging in strange, repetitive, and completely non-functional behaviors. The chimpanzees were carefully collecting large, heavy rocks from the dense forest floor. They would carry these specific rocks to specific, ancient, hollow trees in the jungle. Then they would meticulously stack the rocks in very specific, symmetrical piles. They did not use these rocks to break open nuts or to fight off rival predators. They simply built these elaborate rock sculptures and then sat back and watched them. They engaged in what looks exactly like a primitive, Deeply profound artistic ritual. They created these heavy rock monuments for no practical survival reason whatsoever. In some cases, the chimpanzees would carefully select only smooth, perfectly round rocks. They would discard any jagged or irregular rocks that ruined the symmetry of their sculpture. This incredible attention to detail shows a clear, undeniable preference for geometric perfection. They simply felt a primal urge to stack, arrange, and build something lasting. Just like humans building strange stone monuments in ancient deserts, these chimpanzees are showing the very first sparks of artistic and spiritual expression. An appreciation for art is not just a random quirk of an advanced brain. It is a profound way of trying to make sense of a terrifying universe. It is a way of imposing a tiny bit of order on a chaotic, wild world. It is a biological way of saying, I was here, and I made this beautiful thing. So why does any of this actually matter to your busy, modern human life? Why should you care if a tiny fish, a blue bird, or a wild ape creates art? Because it completely and utterly shatters the arrogant illusion of human artistic superiority. You have always falsely believed that your massive museums make you fundamentally different from animals. You thought your amazing ability to paint and sculpt was a unique spiritual gift. But wild nature has been actively curating art galleries for millions and millions of years. Long before early humans ever painted a single red hand on a dark cave wall, pufferfish were carving perfect, complex mathematical mandalas in the dark ocean sand. Bowerbirds were obsessively arranging beautiful blue objects to create forced visual perspective. Chimpanzees were intentionally stacking ancient rocks to build primitive, mysterious forest sculptures. Your specific human appreciation for fine art is just the latest version of this instinct. You are not above the wild, incredibly creative natural world. You are deeply, tragically, and beautifully entangled within its ancient aesthetic web. Your intense desire to decorate your home is a deeply wild impulse. You hang pictures on your wall for the exact same biological reason a bird collects blue petals. You want to bring harmony, symmetry, and visual comfort to your immediate physical space. Your desperate need to surround yourself with beauty is a basic primal instinct. The next time you look at a stunning, expensive painting in a modern gallery, do not just see the simple colors on the blank white canvas. Do not just think about the human ego that created the masterpiece. Listen to the deep, massive evolutionary history echoing loudly in that human masterpiece. Listen to the ancient primal need for order, symmetry, and beautiful visual connection. We are all just small, scared, fragile animals trying to build something beautiful and meaningful before we eventually die. If this truth resonates with your wild sentience, make sure to leave a like, sickstore to the channel, and join our growing, thoughtful community of deep thinkers. Share your own unique experiences with animal intelligence in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in the next video.